Hello and welcome to this new section on audience and sentiment analysis and the first lecture of that in this course, AI for Marketing and Advertising Excellence. So in this section, we will try and give you a good idea of how to use AI for excellence in audience and sentiment analysis. And we will begin by taking a look at how to monitor brand mentions and sentiment across social media and review platforms, right? So let's first understand what is audience and sentiment analysis and what does it involve. See, it involves using NLP to monitor brand mentions and sentiments across social media and review platforms, then detecting trends, customer complaints, or emerging opportunities across the social media, and informing your brand strategy by identifying customer pain points and its desires. And let us begin by taking a look at how to monitor brand mentions and sentiments across social media and review platforms. So, how do you think you can use NLP to monitor brand mentions and sentiments across social media and review platforms? Any thoughts on that? Using NLP to monitor brand mentions and sentiment across social media and review platforms, enables few things like it enables real-time understanding of public perception, also of customer concerns and opportunities to engage or to improve on. Now, how can you practically do use these things? How can you take advantage of these things? Let's take a look at the steps that you can use. So let's first understand what is NLP based brand monitoring. Any thoughts on that? What is NLP based brand monitoring? See, this involves in NLP analyzing unstructured data like tweets, posts, reviews, and comments to basically do few things like detect brand mentions even without at the rate tags, understand sentiments whether they are positive, neutral, or negative, and identify emerging trends, complaints, or praise, and segment by product, region, competitor, or topic. So that is what NLP can do using analyzing the structured data, right? So let's take a look at more. So let's take a look at the tools that use NLP for when monitoring your brand mentions, etc., etc. Now there are tools like Brand24, Mention, Avario, which can do real-time brand mention tracking plus sentiment dashboards. Then there is Sprinkler, Sprout Social, Hootsuite Insights that has enterprise-grade social listening and NLP sentiment analysis. Talkwalker and Meltwater can is a multi-language NLP, trend spotting, and crisis detection that can be done there. Google Cloud NLP and AWS Comprehend and Azure Text Analysis are API-based NLP engines for custom pipelines. And Monkey and Laxelytic is a customizable no-code or code-based NLP model. So those are the various tools that you can use NLP for monitoring the brand mentions, etc. Now, how does NLP work for brand monitoring? Let's look at few situations that are real life. So if it is entity recognition, it will detect your brand name and variations, product, competitor, and executives. Like, for example, I love a new feature in Zoom Pro. Now, NLP will identify Zoom Pro as a brand and product identity. Second example would be, sentiment analysis. NLP will classify tone as positive, negative, or neutral, or which scores -1 to +1. And an example of that will be customer service was horrible. That would be they mentioned somewhere on the social media, right? And that NLP would turn as a sentiment that is negative. And their advanced NLP can also recognize emotions like anger, joy, disappointment, sarcasm, or irony. That is done through deep contextual models like BERT and Roberta. So that's the sentiment analysis part. The third thing NLP works is through topic categorization. It understands what the user is talking about. Is it price? Is it support? Is it features, delivery, UX, etc.? And a good example of that will be if a customer mentions your app is slow after the update, the topic it picks up as its performance, right? The last thing that we will talk here is of trend and volume analysis, where NLP tracks rise and fall in the mentions, keywords, and tone over time and alerts you to spikes, crises, or viral feedback. So that's how NLP works for brand monitoring. Now let's look at the workflow that you can set up. There are two ways. Option A is to use ready-made tools. Now in the option A, for ready-made tools, you need to start by connecting channels like Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, Reddit, Trustpilot, Google reviews. You need to connect your channels. Then you need to define keywords, your brand, product, misspellings, competitors. Then set filters, filters for geography, language, sentiment, platform. And then you can set up automate alerts for negatives, spikes, influencer mentions, or trending issues. And finally, analyze reports weekly, sentiment heat maps, mention sources, top concerns, etc., etc. So that's what you can do by setting up a ready-made tool. Option B is to build a custom pipeline for, and this is for data teams who has the capability to build a custom pipeline. And the steps there are like you start by, collecting data for APIs through Twitter API, Reddit API, Google Places, review scraping. Then you clean and pre-process the text. And there you tokenize, remove noise, and normalize. Third step would be to apply NLP models. You could use NER, as we saw earlier, named entity recognition, to extract brand and competitor mentions. You could look at sentiment classifier models are that are using pre-trained models like Wader, text blob, and transformers, or you could do topic modeling using, for example, LDA or zero spot classification, zero shot classification for feedback themes. And lastly, you store and visualize in dashboards like in Tableau, Power BI, or Streamlit. So that's how you can set up the workflow by building a custom pipeline. Then let's look at some real world use cases. Now here we have Netflix, and there it uses uh, brand monitoring to monitor show mentions, you know, viewer sentiments globally across X and Instagram. Airbnb detects common host and guest issues from reviews to improve UX. And Nike tracks social sentiment during campaign launches to gauge the people reaction. And Zappos flags negative reviews to trigger customer support follow-up. So these are some real-world use cases of NLP monitoring brand mentions and sentiments. What insights can you unlock with this brand monitoring? There are a few that we will mention as an example. First, you can check out what is driving negative sentiment. Is it customer service, pricing, or anything else? Second, you can look at who are your top influencers and detractors. You get to know them. How then you can also know how does your sentiment compare to your competitors, and also what new features, product features, or bugs are customer mentioning, and finally, how does sentiment shift after campaigns, PR events, or crises? So that's the kind of insights you can unlock, right? So let's summarize what we have talked about on how to use NLP to monitor brand mentions and sentiments across social media and review platforms. So NLP has many capabilities. It can the entity recognition is used to detect brand and product mentions. Sentiment analysis is used to understand tone and emotion. Topic modeling can be used to know what people talk about. Is it price, UX, support? Trend detection in NLP can be used to spot, PR spikes, crises, and viral topics. And automation in NLP can be used to trigger alerts or responses based on tone or volume. So that's what is in nutshell for you. So what do we do next? So we will look at the second part of audience and sentiment analysis, where we will talk about how can you use AI to detect the trends, customer complaints, or emerging opportunities for you to build your business. So thank you so much for watching this first lecture on audience and sentiment analysis. I hope you are continuing to learn new things, continuing to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions, and do download the PDF file to take a look at anything that you need to.